Thank you for joining us today for KZSU Stanford's 5-Minute Technology News Update. Our update today is about how new technologies can help revolutionize the way we file our taxes. We are honored and privileged that our guest today is Professor Josephh Bankman, who is a leading scholar in the field of tax law and who also teaches at Stanford. Professor Josephh Bankman is one of the leading tax experts in the country who has been trying to show how technology can make our tax filing easier.
What I'm interested in is how we could use technology to make filing easier. So everybody spends a lot of time on April 15th filing taxes, and most of the time is spent on getting all your records in order. But most of the information you give to the IRS is information the IRS already has or will get. Your employer is going to report your wages, and your bank is going to report your interest income, and so on. So what I'm working on are plans so the government can use information it already has to make tax filing easier, or at least give you or your accountant access to that information so you wouldn't have to separately keep it if you didn't want to.
And because the government knows everything about us before we file, they can easily help us by giving us the information that they have.
Yes. So having collected all the information, you as a taxpayer are required to replicate that same information, and then you're fined if you get it wrong. It's a little bit as if Visa gave you once a month a blank piece of paper and told you to pay them what you owe, but they didn't give you a record of the purchases that are in their database that you made. So you would have to keep track of it all yourself, and then you'd be in trouble if you got it wrong. That describes our tax filing process.
How long do you think it will take you to make the tax filing system more people-friendly?
Well, like a lot of things, this isn't just a question of what's right or wrong. It's a question of where the lobbyists are and where the money is. So in terms of fixing the tax system to make it easier, the big opponent of this has been Intuit, which makes TurboTax, which has spent millions to fight this and similar proposals.
How long has Intuit been lobbying with the IRS?
They've been around for decades, and they've spent the money in the last decade to oppose plans that would, in my opinion, make it easier for people to get access of their own information without going through Intuit, and in some cases allow the government to send you a tentative tax return, which you could modify, which showed all the information the government already has in your name.
Are you optimistic that the new tax filing system that you're working on that will be much easier for people to use can happen soon?
No, I don't think there's hope for it to happen soon, but I think eventually the sheer stupidity of a system that requires people to spend an estimated $50 billion a year filing taxes is going to be too much, and we'll have a more sensible filing system.
Thank you for joining us today on KZSU Stanford 90.1 FM, and we would like to thank Professor Josephh Bankman very much for this interview. If you would like more information about Professor Josephh Bankman's tax projects, please contact him at Stanford's Law School. And if you would like a copy of today's interview, please download it from our website, moderntechnews.com. That's modernteknews.com, and please follow the link to Technology News.